Okay, so today we're going to be talking about systems, which is probably the part that people don't want to talk about. It's the part that nobody really wants to talk about, but it is the part that is necessary for us in order to, if we decide that we want to have a product or an offer, a program, a course, whatever, you have to know, how are you going to deliver that content? How are you going to deliver all of that? So part of the planning process is to really dive in a little deeper to what platforms are available, which one is the right platform for you. Not all platforms are created equal. And so the first part that I like to do is really look at what platforms are you currently using. So identifying what you're currently using and which ones are working well and which ones are not. Because there are a lot of perks and benefits. There's a lot of free stuff. There's a lot of paid stuff. And like I said, which one is best for you? So currently the platforms that I personally use, I use Wix for my website. I use Kajabi is a brand new platform that I decided to sign up for. It was like they had a 3-month special for $99. And so I decided to give it a try, but I built a Kajabi site for someone else. And I was like, ooh, look at this. Oh, it does that. Oh, it does that. So I really got an opportunity to kind of play around with it. I use Zoom, obviously. Currently, I'm using MemberVault, which is what a lot of you have used to sign up and where you've gotten your workbook. And so my hope is that Kajabi will actually replace MemberVault. And MemberVault is a great platform, especially if you are just starting out and you don't want to invest a lot of money because you don't know if your program or your course or whatever you're going to do is actually going to sell.
So what is Kajabi?
Kajabi is a all-in-one platform. So it is basically a place where you can host courses, you can host audio, you can also do a landing page and a website. You can have everything all together. So before Kajabi, I kind of piecemealed everything together, right, to make it all work. But if you really just want to have an all-in-one platform, it's not a free platform. Like I said, I have a special right now that's $99 for 3 months. I can send you a link if you want it, to also give it a try. And like I said, I built my client a Kajabi site in 1 day. The website, the landing pages, all the content, all the stuff. So you just got to know, but I also did the graphics. You know what I mean? Like it was a lot of work, but it's possible. And then Trello. Trello is one of my favorite tools because it allows me to organize my content. So I can kind of map it out, and it's like, instead of having 1,000 sticky notes, I have a digital format that allows me to move things around. And so I love to use Trello. It's a great tool for me. Another platform that I use is Airtable. Airtable is a very fancy Excel spreadsheet on steroids. That's the best way to describe it. So if you like spreadsheets, you would love Airtable. And there's some very fancy dancy things that you can do with it, but it is not a requirement. But if you like to track things, Airtable could be a good way to do that. I also love Canva. Canva is probably, I am in Canva every single day, you guys, because I love to make stuff. I can't help it. I love to make stuff. And I will tell you, I was the free version for a very long time, until Paige told me about Canva Pro and one of the best features ever. And then I was like, okay, I'm willing to pay $12 a month for this feature. So not only do I get all of the paid photos for free, like it's all included. I also can create one graphic and then resize it to all of the other. So if I create like, say I create an event photo, I can click to resize it to square and I'll make a couple of little adjustments and I don't have to recreate each graphic for each platform. Oh, that was like the best thing ever. The best thing ever. So I could take my event, then I can also make it into a Zoom header, which has a very specific, dimension. I can make and it's just beautiful. I don't have to recreate it every single time for each platform. Huge time saver. Huge time
Do
saver.
presentations in there too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can actually now you can also record a presentation. Okay. So I'm not going to lie. I did try it to record a presentation with my, so it'll give you like a little circle of you and then it's got on top of your PowerPoint or whatever, like it looks like a PowerPoint. The problem was downloading it. I didn't get to download it. The file was so big and I don't know if I didn't have enough space on my computer, but I lost it. So I had to redo it, which is fine. But that part was a little bit of so I have since gone and made more room on my computer because I do have a lot of stuff on it and large file videos and stuff. The other platform that I love that is a free platform is Marco Polo. And Marco Polo is a great communication tool that I actually have a group that has all of my clients in it. And we can talk and check in and share about whatever's going on in our world, in our life, how our day was, whatever, what they get done. It's a very nice little tool to use to communicate with your clients. Because I've noticed that, sometimes text or email or a messenger, the text can get the translation, the emotion that you have can sometimes get lost in that. And I didn't want anyone to misconstrue. And so I felt it was very important that they could see my face, they could hear my voice, and know that I'm supporting them and that I'm, being genuine and I'm not being critical, because sometimes that comes up, right? So it's been a very important tool. Mary, what would you like to add?
I would just like, can you speak on the difference between Trello and Airtable?
Yes. So, Airtable can give me reports. Has different sorting features. And Airtable, like I said, is more of an Excel spreadsheet on steroids. So I actually use Airtable to keep track of Diamond membership for Polkadot. Everybody's in there, has like questionnaires, and then it can translate into a spreadsheet. I can sort by alphabet. I can sort by this. I can sort by that. I can have drop downs and check boxes and add their photo. I mean, there's so much that I can do with it, including calendars. So I can put everybody's expiration date. I can sort by that. So it has a lot of very interesting features. Trello has some of those features if you're willing to pay for Trello Gold. But I like Trello more to just kind of organize my stuff better, because I can create, columns and then have the categories, and then I can go into each of those cards and drop text and drop links and drop photos and kind of keep it all together all in one place. So each of them has their own purpose. For me, Airtable is more people and Trello is more content. Now,
Okay.
The other thing I can tell you is that I have created a template where I actually created all of my content and loaded it into Airtable in order to also organize it. And because I wanted to kind of test it out and see how that would work. And it's not terrible. It's not terrible. The problem is you have to keep it updated in order for it to really give you what you need, right? You have to go in and do the work. Otherwise, it's not going to produce the results that you're hoping for. Same with Trello, right? It's a thing that you have to constantly add to it. Otherwise, if you forget to do stuff in it, then it doesn't really give you accurate results, accurate reporting. So that is one thing to keep in mind. So I like Trello for content and I like Airtable for people. Does that help? Okay. All right. And then, okay, so those are the platforms that I'm currently using. What platforms are you currently using? So make a list to go ahead and write out whatever you're currently using. And then the next question is, what do you need to deliver your offer to your clients? So here are some important questions to ask yourself. Are you going to be offering video? Are you going to do live video, pre-recorded video? Are you going to do voice? So like audio? Are you going to do deliver any workbooks or PDFs or anything that you'd like them to print out? Are you going to just, here's my product, have a store where there's no real content, they're just purchasing an item from you? So it's kind of like the difference between like coaching or mentoring versus I have a product such as like Anne is going to have a book, right? She's going to have a book and she's also going to have, she wants to do coaching as well. So two very different platforms there, right? So knowing what you plan to offer will help us figure out which platform might work best for you. Do you plan to have questionnaires? Do you want to be able to survey or ask your audience really specific question? Do you need to have contracts? So those are some really important questions that you need to ask yourself about putting together your offer so that we can help you figure out which platform would work best for you. So does anyone want to volunteer and tell me some things that you might want to offer, like what kind of content or program or course or anything, and I can help you figure out which kind of platform would work best for you?
I will.
Okay, Mary.
So I've got my big kahuna
Okay.
is the 6-month
Okay.
one-on-one private mentoring.
Okay.
And
so what will you need your clients? Will you have a contract?
yes, there'll be a contract.
Okay. Will you be doing any live videos? Is it going to be group or all one-on-one?
So it's one-on-one, twice
Okay.
a month on Zoom.
Okay.
And then once a week they're invited to the group writing room, so that because it's all about creating their content and getting clear about their audience and their core message. And then it's editing and coaching them in getting clear about the stories that connect them with their ideal client and how their which life experience they're going to talk about, that was their trajectory to make them the ideal person that their clients are looking for. That they get clarity about.
Will you have templates?
So there will be writing prompts. So
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
PDFs, fill in the blanks.
Okay.
And when you say video,
so would you
pre-recorded something?
Yeah. Would you do any pre-recorded video to help them walk through the prompts or give any additional clarity?
So probably once a month, there would be some kind of video that goes into more detail of things that have come up, or just something to keep them, help with the mindset
Okay.
and to stay motivated.
Okay.
And also at the same time, I'll be developing a resource of anything that I come across to say, hey, you might want to check out this speaker, or there's this event that's going on, or this is the kind of author that's in your genre. So just helping them see where their book is going to be in either in the library or what category they're in on Amazon.
Okay.
So
Okay. And then where do you currently host your website?
WordPress.
WordPress. I'm just gonna let you know, me and WordPress, we are not friends. I've had some very bad experiences. I was helping someone and I was doing a blog post for them, and guess what happened? Deleted the whole thing, the whole website.
The whole website? Wow, you are some powerful.
Thankfully, I remembered from a very long time ago that when I had a WordPress site, that you could restore to the last known.
Right.
Thank you,
Right.
Jesus, for that button, because I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to call her and tell her that this website someone built for her is gone.
And her web person should have been able to restore things, because mine has done that, not for me, but for other of her clients.
Goodness gracious, I was going to have a heart attack.
Well, I've only worked in WordPress, so
Okay.
I am friends with it. Great friends.
Okay.
And I've had an experience like that once too.
Yeah.
Taking over the church website, and it was just literally thrown in my lap. And one day, yes, I literally deleted the front page, and I was in a panic. But I found that same button, restore the last thing, click, and I was like, whew, thank you, Lord. Yes, because it was a church website.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like WordPress either.
Yeah. It's got some issues. It's got some issues, right? Okay. And then let me ask you, Mary, will your clients pay you one time or monthly?
Ideally, it's one time.
Okay.
I'm sorry. All of a sudden, there's sun in Half Moon Bay, and I'm right under the skylight.
That's okay.
So I look like I'm glowing.
You're an angel.
Yes, I am. I'm angelic. So ideally, they would pay me the whole chunk.
Okay.
But I would entertain any of the options of, half or
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I would not wait until the entire 6 months was over for them to have their first draft to say, okay, now I can finish paying you.
Right. Okay. How do you currently accept payments?
I have taken personal checks from somebody who I knew.
Okay.
Otherwise, I have QuickBooks payments.
Okay.
I mean,
so it's connected to debit and credit and stuff.
Right.
Okay. So is QuickBooks how you are tracking income and expenses and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Okay, so are you wanting to have an all-in-one, or are you wanting to kind of piecemeal everything together?
A little more specific about piecemeal or all-in-one.
So piecemeal basically is, like I had mentioned, I have this and I have that, and I have this free thing over here, and then I have this thing over here, as opposed to having everything under one roof.
Well, everything, I mean, all the landing pages are in WordPress.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not following how things are all over the place.
So like being able to have like a client profile, having where, because you can, I don't know the exact name, but there are WordPress themes or templates that you can plugins. I
Oh,
think is the
plugins,
right-
plugins, yeah.
Plugins is
No,
the
I
right.
don't have that, but I do have client management with Active Campaign,
Okay, that's good to know. Okay,
and I can send email through Active Campaign
okay, perfect.
and yeah.
Okay. All right. So what you could possibly do, like being able to figure out like the process that you want your clients to go through, part of their customer journey. We had talked about a little bit about that yesterday. Is you may find a plugin on WordPress that will basically host everything that like a member vault or a Kajabi would be able to do for you. Or even Thinkific or Teachable are all kind of those platforms that you may be able to do some sort of plugin where
I
they
do have a separate area for a course that I did a long time ago.
right.
So there's something that already exists that members only could
Yes.
access on the
Yes.
website.
Yes. So a members only section. So you may be able to just use what you already have and then have, basically any videos or resources or tools or PDFs or anything that you want to share. You can then use your Active Campaign to maybe alert them that there's a new post or a new, something in there, send reminders and things like that. You may also, you'll want to check with Active Campaign and see if they allow you to have like a contract. Because I'm not that familiar with the platform yet. I haven't dug in to see what all of the features are. So you may be able to, or even QuickBooks, to see if there's like a thing where they check that they've understood the terms of the payment agreement, the terms of, these are your expectations of me. This is my expectation of you. It's just basically kind of a very, it's a protection.
Right.
So that you both feel like you're not, like if something happens, you have what's your recourse. Okay.
Good
So
point. Both of us sign off.
yeah, exactly. So I might check with Active Campaign or QuickBooks to see if either of those platforms offer that feature.
Okay.
Okay. And then for your group where you're doing like group mentoring, you'll need to decide how, if you want everyone to be in a Facebook group, if you're going to do a cohort. You had mentioned kind of doing everything one-on-one.
Well, there is a Facebook group right now that I put the free trainings that I do once a month, and
yeah,
the Tuesday morning writing room is already ongoing, and
okay.
that's for my clients and invited guests, and it's sacred space. There isn't any coaching that goes on, but so many people say one of my problems is I never have time to write.
Right.
And so, okay, I'm inviting you every Tuesday morning. You can come and show up in this private Zoom room.
Yeah. And right.
So the platform is already established.
Perfect. So awesome. So it sounds like all you really need to do is go into your WordPress and maybe update and kind of fiddle with, either hire someone to do it for you or you can DIY that. But getting that WordPress area, that members only area, kind of beefed up and ready for when you're ready to launch your offer.
So if it's a 6-month program, what would you say would be the lead time to drip it into the emails and hey, I'm working on this and something special.
So,
and I don't know if I heard from you or someplace else, but doing a survey and having more input from what people are really saying they need. I mean, I have been
Yeah.
doing some one-on-one questions about, well, what really stops you from writing that book that would make a difference in your business?
Yeah.
So I've got a couple of those, but maybe putting out some more general
Right.
questionnaires.
So doing
I
some
mean,
so doing some
market research.
And then I would, when it comes to positioning your offers, having like, we're going to talk about a little bit soon. When's it going to be? Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about conversion events. So a conversion event is something that I would totally recommend for you, and will help you figure out which one would be a good way to get people into either your one-on-one, or if you're going to do a cohort of some sort, or you're going to do a group thing of some sort, really figuring out which people, if you're going to do an anthology, or you're going to do, they're writing their own full-on book. And, you may decide that you want to do an anthology as a way to kind of help people with the idea of contributing a chapter instead of writing an entire book.
Right, that the whole book is so scary.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe just writing a chapter, right? So I'm contributing a chapter to a book that's coming out in January with some fellow dots. And then I'm also working on my next solo book.
Your next solo book.
That'll come out in October because I'm a crazy person. But it's all good.
In time for celebration.
Yes, exactly. So, which is how the first one came about anyways. I needed something for a celebration.
Yes, dear, we were 3 tables away from each other.
Yes, right. So, figuring out which thing you want to focus on, and then creating that outline. So like, what is the process, the outline of, okay, so by week 2, this is the first deadline. Then you're going to get a little bit of time, and then this is the next deadline. This is the next step that you'll need to have done. And so if you say, okay, you're going to get a book launched in 6 months, so work backwards. Like, what point is it going to go to the editor for final review, right?
See, I'm not promising promising a final product. I'm promising that you will have your first draft, because these are the really scared people who don't know they may know who their audience is, but they don't know what their core message is. They don't know the life story that has that embodies the wisdom that they want to share.
So I'm getting a pop rock. Would you like to hear it?
Great. Yes.
Okay. So what my pop rock is saying is that this needs to be a collaborative with that person who can help them with the final product. Okay. So if you could basically come together and say, I will help them with the writing part and getting all of this stuff done. If you could help them with getting it to an editor, getting it to a publisher, getting it to marketing, right? And being able to come together and offer, and there are several dots out there that would probably be really wonderful, that you could essentially offer this service to anyone who is doing cohorts, or they're wanting to help someone else publish their book. They may not be a writing coach, like you're a writing coach. And so that could be a very well marketed service to anyone who wants to write a book and is maybe wanting to do this thing. They want to publish a book with a cohort or by themselves, and they need that writing coach. So you're saying, I'm not going to give you the final product, but I'm going to get you to this point, and then I'm going to pass you along to the next person who's going to help you take this from, okay, now we have a solid first round draft, and now it's going to go to the next step. That's not what I do. That's what this person does. So it's the idea of getting them ready to go to the next level.
Right. ready
So
to go to the next level.
that's the pop rock that I'm getting for you. And if you need connections or you want to talk more about that, I'd be happy to do that with you, but that's what's coming through.
Okay, okay. I have a couple of people in mind too.
Good, good. So I feel like you've got a really good start and you kind of have some of the foundational elements that you need in order to have the systems in place. So it's just a matter of, and we'll talk more tomorrow about the getting the actual sales part and getting the people into what your offer is. Okay.
Yay. Thank you so much. Thank you
Yeah.
everybody for your
Yeah.
patience.
Yeah. Well, it's a learn, we're all learning together, right? And everybody can learn from each other. So yeah. So some of the things you're going to need to figure out is when you, so on the couple of pages, I basically wrote out, these are the platforms that are the most common, most popular platforms for courses and programs, websites and landing pages, organizing and tracking, automations, point of sale, organization, and leadership and delegation. So what I would encourage you to do is you need to decide, what are you going to do it yourself? And what are you saying? I am not the person to do that. I am allergic to technology. Therefore, I'm going to delegate that section out. So it's a good opportunity for you to sit down and literally say, this is what I'm going to do, and this is what someone else is going to do. Okay, because it will just make your life so much easier. So when you look at the all of the different programs and stuff in here, you know, there are some very frustrating platforms. I'm not even going to lie to you. If I were to tell you the honest truth, Kartra made me want to stab myself in the eye. Some people really like it. I was not one of those people. And I'm pretty tech savvy, but God bless America, I wanted to stab myself in the eye. Mighty Networks is an interesting platform if you want to have a course and a community that's an app, like it's an app on your phone. So that is a really interesting, and I would say pretty affordable. That they have a free version, but in order to do all the fancy stuff, you'll have to, it's like $25 a month or a little bit more than that. So I think it's affordable, but it allows people to not have to have one more social media platform. It's literally, it's an app on their phone and they can get a notification that something is in there. I've tested it out, right? And I've tried so many things, you guys, to launch our No Excuses network. So I did this other app, I did Mighty Networks, and then I figured out the way that I wanted to do it, like the way that the audience actually wanted to receive. So I actually created a podcast. It was just an audio thing, and it's got like 3 to 5 minutes, little pep talk that goes along with the cards. And then I just email them out the episode and here you go. And this is your challenge for the week, right? And then we use Marco Polo to communicate. So it's just figuring it out, what works best for you and for your audience. So remember, we talked about on day one that each audience is going to consume content differently. A CEO, 7-figure billionaire, how are they going to, they're not going to be consuming content as the way that I do, right? So you just got to figure that out. So let's talk about social media platforms. So figuring out which platforms you intend to market your offers on. And I want you to think outside of just Facebook.
What's Green Room?
Green Room is a brand new platform that is actually it's Spotify's version of Clubhouse.
Oh.
And what I like about it, I haven't used it yet, like that way, but I was very excited to see is that you can, it's basically Clubhouse, but you can record it and turn it into a podcast, which I think is the one thing that Clubhouse does not do that I think is sorely missing, is that you can't record the audio.
I thought that I had heard something that Clubhouse was offering that.
I haven't seen, I saw that there were updates, but I did not go in, dive a little deeper to see what those updates were. But I love the idea of being able to have conversations with panels or something like that, and then take that recording and publish it as a podcast. Like, come on, there's some brilliant things that come out of those Clubhouse rooms. So that is what Green Room is. It allows you to turn it in, because Spotify now owns Anchor. So Anchor is a free podcasting publishing platform. Spotify purchased it, so they decided to offer their own version of Clubhouse. So it's pretty cool. So having a blog or some sort of written content is a number one. Like, you have to. Okay?
Preaching to the choir.
I know. Facebook is, everybody does on Facebook. Instagram, IGTV, Reels, LinkedIn, if you are focused on helping other entrepreneurs. Pinterest is the third highest search engine.
Yeah, I put my blogs on Pinterest.
So yeah,
absolutely.
So if you are not putting your content on Pinterest, you are missing out. Twitter, TikTok, podcasting, Clubhouse, Green Room, stories. Like, think about the other one that I forgot to write on here is YouTube. So add YouTube.
Oh yeah.
YouTube is the second highest search engine. So Google is number 1, YouTube is number 2, Pinterest is number 3. So I'm going to give you guys 10 tips on how to, some social media strategies on how to promote your business. Okay, you guys ready?
Ready.
All right. So number 1 is we're going to be intentional. We're going to have a plan. We're going to create a strategy. We're going to schedule what we can in advance. But I will tell you this. In order to not have Facebook, because, they want you on their platform as long as possible. They do. So posting links to outside sources, they don't really care for that because you're asking them to leave the platform. They also don't, if you were to schedule a post for 9 o'clock at night and you have no intention of being on the platform at that time, your post is not going to get any boost whatsoever. So post content, schedule content to post when you are already going to be on the platform. For example, I love to lay in bed and check my Facebook before I get up, check my email, just see what's going on in the world, what happened overnight, what catastrophe, whatever. So I am on the platform. I'm engaging on the platform. So if I'm going to schedule post, I'm going to do it between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. Because 8 o'clock, I'm in the shower. I'm not engaged on Facebook. I'm in the shower getting ready. Right? And 9 o'clock, I usually have my first meeting of the day. So between 7 and 8, I'm engaged on the platform. I'm available to engage with my audience and anyone who comments on any of my stuff. So that's just something to consider, but be intentional. What is the purpose? Are you constantly selling something? Because guess what? People don't like that. Don't be a sales pitch, be a person. So how can you ask questions? Like do things that are engaging. Number 2 is, where do your customers hang out? You should be there too. Okay. So I know sometimes, like, I'll tell you this right now, Paige hates that her audience is on Facebook. She doesn't like Facebook. She feels obligated to be on Facebook because that's where her audience is hanging out. She would prefer to do everything on Instagram. And they are on Instagram, but they're more on Facebook. And we've done this discussion multiple times, and she's not happy about it, but she goes where her audience is hanging out. Okay. Number 3, provide, yes, Janet.
How do you figure out where your audience hangs out?
You have to ask them. You have to ask them, where do you hang out? And I've done that before. Like in surveys and stuff that I've done, I asked them, what platforms, where do you hang out? Number 1 was always Facebook. But it's good to know, because if I had any audience on Twitter, then I would be over there more. But they're not really there. You know what I mean?
Elaine, how did you ask them?
I check boxes. Like with, basically I have a whole list here of.
But did you send them an email? Were you on a social media platform?
So
when
I
you
created
took a poll?
When I create surveys, I typically will ask. So if I'm trying to do market research and find out more information about that, you can even do a poll on your Facebook page, on your Facebook group. You could do a poll. You could ask them, where do you like to hang out? Right? And you can ask, you could create an Instagram story and do a, Facebook versus Instagram and see which one gets the most votes. Right? So there are ways to ask. And if you are gearing yourself more for business to business, you could also do things on LinkedIn. Okay. So number 3 is provide massive value. What that means is you don't have to hoard your secrets. If you can help people, then help them. Ask really thought-provoking questions. Give them a resource, give them a tool, tell them something you just learned, but give massive value. Number 4, engage with your commenters and the people that are engaging with you, engage with them back. So if someone comments on any of your posts, especially that are professional, you definitely need to be in the comments, thanking them or asking them more questions, or, tell me more about why you think that, or I agree with you, or whatever, but engage with them, show them love. Number 5 is be authentic, be yourself. Do not try to pretend to be somebody else. Number 6, build relationships, connect with the people. Like I said, don't be a sales pitch, be a person, but build relationships. Like send them a message and say, thank you so much for your comment. I would love to would you like to connect sometime? Build relationships, because guess what happens? They will become a raving fan, which we're going to talk about on the next one. Okay. Number 7, use visuals whenever you can. So photos and videos. Facebook loves video, and they love it when you upload the video directly to their platform, because then guess what? They're not leaving the platform to go watch a video on YouTube. Okay. Number 8, quality over quantity. It's not how many times you post, it's what you post. It's what you do. It's value. It's right. So it's not that you have to post 10 times a day. Please don't post 10 times a day. You will lose people so quickly. Number 9 is to check your insights regularly, monthly, weekly, whatever, and do more of what people are responding to. So even though I love quotes. I love them. My audience, however, doesn't respond to them so much like I would hope they would. You know what they respond to? Pictures of myself. So guess what I have to do? Selfies. But if I look at my insights, they're telling me what they like. So if you look at your insights, which you can do on a group, Facebook Creator Studio will give you insights for both Facebook and Instagram. You'll get little bar graphs that'll tell you which of your posts had the most engagement. Like, they're giving you free analytics. So use them. Trust me. It's very eye-opening, and you'll get to see what gender your audience is, what age demographic they are. Mine is between 35 and 50. That's my age demographic according to my analytics. And I'm like, oh, okay. And number 10, don't be spammy. Don't be spammy. And spammy, so like one of the things that when someone sends me a friend request, I will go look at their profile. And if their profile is literally buy my stuff, or all they're doing is sharing stupid memes and crap from things, I'm like, I don't want to see that in my timeline. I'm not going to accept their friend request. I want to know who someone is as a person. I don't want to just sit there and buy my weight loss pills. Like, that is not my jam. I don't want that in my timeline. So don't be spammy, be a person. And you know what's interesting? I have a gal that wants to hire me, and I'm not going to lie to you. I'm kind of teetering a little bit because she's very much into the QAnon stuff. And that's really hard for me because I don't want to go there. I don't want to feed into it. And I don't want her to try to preach to me or lecture me about it. But I want to help her business succeed. But her business is not going to succeed if that's the kind of thing that she's posting on her social media. Because people will be like, I ain't going to trust her. She's a lunatic. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's really, you have to decide if you're going to be political or you're going to be controversial. Do that with intention, but know that it could have consequences. People could decide that they don't agree with your point of view and not hire you. And you have to be okay with that. So make a decision if you are going to discuss those things on your social media platforms. Know that you could be excluding people, you could be excluding audience members. So just know that in advance, and you have to be okay with whatever decision they make. Okay. So on community building, we have some ways to build community. This is kind of like, if you think about the journey of how to build community. Okay, so this is kind of like step by step how you will build a community. So number 1 is going to be get. So this is where they get something from you, like a freebie or a training or a PDF or a checklist or whatever it is. You give them something of value and they become a part of your community, like they become a part of your list. Okay. So the next part is now they follow you. Number 2. So this is when they opt in to your list. So it's really important. One of the things I want to make very clear is you cannot just add people to your email list just because you know them. They have to opt in. By law, you have to have unsubscribe feature. You can't just send emails without the ability to unsubscribe. Can't do it. It's against the law now. So make sure that they have checked the box to opt in to whatever it is that you're offering to get emails from you. Okay. Number 3 is they're going to learn. So this is where you invite them to join your Facebook group. You don't automatically add them to your group. You invite them, which means here's a link if you would like to join my Facebook group or whatever kind of group you have. Don't just add them. People hate that. People hate that. Number 4 is trust. So you have to earn their trust. And one of the ways to earn their trust is that if they purchase a course from you, if they purchase a training from you, if they do any sort of group coaching, you have earned their trust for them to buy something from you. Because remember, people buy from people they know, like, and trust. So the next one is buy. So they may have bought a small ticket item in the trust. It may be a small ticket item. Buy could be they're scheduling a call with you and they're interested in purchasing high ticket from you now because they got some sort of value out of that small ticket. And now they're ready to actually, okay, let's test her out, right? And then the next one is when they refer and endorse you to their friends, you have just now completed full circle that customer journey process. That's how you know that you have built a community with them. When someone is willing to put their reputation on the line and vouch for you, you have earned their ultimate trust and respect. They are now part of your community. Thanks, Mary. All right, so raving fan building. So you kind of there's some boxes here and the top box is blank. So the first box on the left, you're going to fill out has giveaways, Facebook Live daily, interviewing experts, hosting a contest, doing a podcast, selling a mini course. It's build. This is how to build a raving fan, how to build an audience. These are all ways that you can do that. The next box that has follow-ups, invite them to join your group, ask them to help you, give them a label, public recognition, or train them is to engage. So those are ways that you can engage with your raving fans. When you give someone in your audience a label and you call them something special, boom, they're like, oh, yes, they become all about you. And the third one, selling a tripwire, which is making a small purchase. So it could be something that's $5. It could be something that's $30. Like it's a small purchase is what they call selling a tripwire. Upselling a mini course, coaching, doing done for you services, hosting an event free or paid, or giving them free or reduced trials is monetize. So this is a way to monetize. So you build, you got to grow, start to nurture them, start engaging with your audience, and then, and only then, can you monetize that relationship and start selling things small or big. But it's not going to happen. It's really uncommon for someone that doesn't know you to buy something from you, unless it's a small $37 and you're like, if it sucks, it's $37, right? That's a couple of lattes. You know what I'm saying? So the best way when people are selling tripwires, which you see a lot in like Facebook ads, you'll see people selling templates or a mini course or something like that for $37. It's a tripwire. And what they know that you don't know them yet. But this is a way for them to make a little money off of you and then get you into their audience and try to upsell you to a higher ticket item. But they can't do it right away. They have to start building that relationship and nurturing you. Does anyone have any questions about how to build a community or how to build raving fans? I'm so proud of us. We're ending on time today. Janet, did you have anything you wanted to say?
The M stands for what? Manage.
Monetize.
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 I leave my body when we talk about computers.
You're so cute. Anne or Kim, do either of you guys have anything that you want to add or any questions?
No, but I think I missed something online on one page. Let me look back.
Okay.
On the very top where it says offer : on systems. I don't remember you saying anything. Or is that
So
what we're
that's for
supposed
you.
to fill in?
So you would fill in like if you have the name of your offer, because
Oh, okay.
here's the thing is that each offer that you have may require different systems, different platforms. You know, like you have a book and then you have a course or a coaching, very different platforms. So you could essentially print out this page by itself and say, okay, this is the offer number 1. This is the platforms that I'm currently using. What do I actually need? And what am I going to DIY? And what am I going to delegate? And then you could print out another page, offer number 2, and do the same thing. And then print out another one, offer number 3, and do the same thing.
Couldn't I at least put my offers all on the same website? I thought I could sell the book, coaching services, keynote speaking services, all from the same website, just different pages.
You can. It's a matter of like if you're going to be delivering content. So if you're going to be doing any coaching, if you're going to be doing any training, or are you just doing everything one-on-one like Mary was doing, then that you just need to know, right? You just need to know what your offer, what that coaching service is going to look like. So then you can decide what kind of platform you're going to need.
I like the idea of a member vault. I'd love to be able to attach that to my website at some point where they can go, you know, once they've paid for coaching services, they can go in and it'd be, you know, they create a profile and then they can go in and work on whatever course stuff they need as they go.
Well, and here's the beauty part is that Member Vault allows you to accept payments. So they can pay for it right then and then get immediate access. So there are some tricks that go along with Member Vault. You'll need to have an email system to attach to it. So whether it's MailChimp or MailerLite or whatever they have, you can attach, but you need to have an email service in order to use Member Vault.
Right, that's something I'll have to get.
Yeah.
It's another thing I'd like to maybe add to my current website for my art, but right now they can connect through my website through me with my regular email. So, all right, that's it. That's all I wanted to add.
All right. So, so thank you guys for being here today. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about sales, and we're going to be talking about taking your customers through a journey. We're going to be talking about how to convert sales or leads into sales. And we're going to talk about sales conversations and how to avoid the bad things that happen. Okay. All right. So thank you guys so much for being here, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you.